Hey everyone, Harry here to talk about some pushback from some law firms to the outrageous and I would say unconstitutional efforts by Trump and the Trump administration to blacklist them for no good reason. That's the nub of the issue here. He is invoking powers that he has as commander in chief and wants them to be unreviewable for that reason. And you just take a step back. And if that it's an Alice in Wonderland kind of crazy situation, because Jenner and Block, the last two, Jenner and Block and Wilmer Howe, like Paul Weiss, hugely prominent law firms in the country, zero, I mean less than zero actual basis for saying they are somehow a risk to the national security. What they are, though, are big repeat players with the government. If you're a big shot law firm, depends a little on which way your business is organized, but you may do huge transactions that need the government's approval. You may do litigation or investigations or whatever that brings you to make entreaties of the government, but being on the government's shit list, no other way to do it, is just a horrendous body blow that leaves very few good choices. So indeed, we're now up to 5 or 6, right? Covington and Burling, which hasn't really done anything yet. It's the recipient of this order because they represented Jack Smith, who A, did nothing wrong, and B, even if he had, that's what law firms do. It's in the finest tradition of law firms. Then Paul Weiss, which played ball kind of shamefully. They came out and said we couldn't get anyone to sort of be with us, and sophisticated, people, practitioners who understand high level law practice at firms like this and know that like the big money makers could take their business elsewhere or clients, won't come in. Understand that the Paul Weiss was under severe financial pressure. Of course, once Trump issues this order, it's damned if you do and damned if you don't, because they're also going to be reviled somewhat, maybe get fewer people to come to them, young associates and the like, maybe have some people leave them. But they decided to play ball, and the chair went there to the White House and worked out a deal, basically paying protection money for no reason at all. It's not even the exercise of his executive powers. It's a tawdry lie. There's no way in which they are a risk to national security. Now Perkins Coie brought a lawsuit, and so far the lawsuit's going very well, and I think they will win the lawsuit, but you have this ongoing problem of then what? And I'm sure they're thinking it through. That's what all their clients are, and even if they win the lawsuit and Trump has to back down, prospective clients or lawyers who practice there know that the administration doesn't like them, for no good reason. They represented Democrats in, some of the litigation over the last few years. So the administration doesn't like them, and maybe won't like them even more if they show the administration up in court by showing that they're wrong. But they think that the Paul Weiss approach is worse, as do a lot of people, including me. Okay, but now we have two more big players, and query whether they would have been engaged. They would have been the victim of these kinds of proclamation if Paul Weiss hadn't knuckled under. But we have Jenner Block, big firm, not quite as humongous as some of these, but really big and prominent, who committed the great national security sin of what? Hiring Andrew Weissman after Weissman worked for the Mueller team. And he wasn't even there all that long, and it's been long since. So, Weissman did nothing wrong on Mueller. It's impeccable for Jenner Block to hire him. It's completely bogus to say anything about the national security, but they have. And Wilmer Howe, perhaps the biggest fish in the pond, all kinds of huge. They're known, as is Paul Weiss, as a sort of Democratic firm. They represent different Democratic, official organizations, but also progressive causes and the like. And so they're the latest, and they said, nope, we're suing. This is unconstitutional as it is. but we're talking about a really very, very hot shot, probably the hottest of the hot shots in Washington. So now they've gotten this, Trump's trying to apply this scarlet letter, government no like, and even if they tear it off their, foreheads because it's completely unlawful, and as Wilmer Hale said in a press release, violates First Amendment rights about what, whom you represent and what you say, violates Sixth Amendment rights about people's ability to choose their own counsel, is unconstitutional, probably will be shown to be unconstitutional, and for my money, probably the best of two bad choices. But the fact is, this pernicious conduct by Trump does result in two bad choices. And, now people in the industry are going to be watching closely. Some think Paul Weiss is going to take a terrible hit for playing ball. Others think Perkins Coie is going to take a terrible hit for not playing ball. There's another very, very big firm, top 10 in the country firm, that's in the mix here. And they are said to be deliberating madly do they want to go the Paul Weiss route or do they want to go the Perkins Coie route? That is Skadden Arps, especially known for their transactional work, and transactional practice poses a whole specific kind of problem here. So, some of their biggest big shot lawyers may be saying, this totally sucks, it's totally unfair, but you got to do it or I'm leaving. And, because I won't be able to really flourish and help my clients in the same way as if you play ball. Query if that's true. I've said before, you're only on Trump's good side until the next time that he makes a demand. But nevertheless, this is, again, a huge show of and basically successful assertion of unencumbered and unprecedented executive branch authority to influence the private sector, to influence law, to influence media, to influence business, and the like. And that's what's happening here. There is some talk of kind of, some lawyers, especially young ones, what these firms are worried about is they're big rainmakers, but some young ones saying, wait a second, something is way wrong here. Plus, we are lawyers. We can't countenance that. And there are moves afoot to write a letter and try to get what would have made it so much easier for Paul Weiss up front. Paul Weiss even said this in its letter, concerted action from many firms to say we're all in this together and, blacklist one, blacklist us all. Of course, that's no silver bullet because the Trump administration could still choose to, we're just going to blacklist Perkins Coie. We're going to starve them, or fine, all 100 of you. It would all be equally bogus because there's no national security issue, but that is a really big part of the, let's say it, bogus presidency of Donald Trump. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.